information. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With DFL, teaching you food choices that see you through. DFL, we're teaching you to eat food right. Teaching you to pair food with each bite. Balancing our body's microbiome, feeling so right. With diet-free life, that helps futures lose pride.
Woo, 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 woo. What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson. You're a nutritionist, a guy who shares because I care. And today is no different. Today, matter of fact, is something that was on my mind yesterday. And then I went back to my office and I kind of went through a few things. And when I say a few things, I looked at clients that I've worked with for the last couple of years. And then I did like a little comparison based on what I have and based on validated scientific tests. You're going to find that intriguing. And that's why I titled this The Best Kept Secret for Transforming Your Health and Weight Loss. So those of you, if you care a little bit about losing weight and keeping the weight off, if you kind of care about your health, just kind of, I'm going to share some things with you today that will give you some added hope. Now, some people, when they see me talking about health, it reminds them of what they're not doing. And so they'll either snooze me or just skip right over it because they don't want to be reminded of what they're not doing. And I get that. So I'm asking you to stay with me because especially if you know me and you've been around me or I've worked with you in the past or I'm working with you now, if you have the time and you can stick with me during this live, or if it's a replay, don't stop. Put it somewhere so you can come back and watch it. Because I'm going to share something with you that could help you. And if it's not you, because sometimes people don't really care about themselves. Maybe you have a cousin, or maybe your mom, or maybe a brother, sister. Maybe there's someone that you care. Maybe it's your kids. Just stick around. And I'm not going to take forever to get to it. Now, before I get into all of that, let me just share with you an update because we're in the middle of a fat loss challenge. Okay. We're on day number 4, going into day number 5. And around this time, I start getting the dates and the numbers off. But it's an 8-week fat loss because I'm doing it. And let me tell you, I feel so much better. And now I'm saying what's positive, but let me tell you, it was a rocky road for the first few days. And then today was great because some of my clients who are doing the challenge, I talked to them today and I'm so happy for them. I'm happy because they have tightened things up and they're taking advantage of the morale and the unity of other people doing what they're doing. And I'm doing my best to be transparent and just keep it real. Because the last few nights, my vice, the thing that I've been wanting to enjoy was a glass of wine one night. I wanted to have a cocktail another night. I was craving it. And I had a whole bunch of stuff happening in my life that made me feel like, yeah, cave in, you've done good. That voice, and it was getting louder and louder and louder, but I didn't give in. I did not give in. So I'm proud of myself for that. And I'm proud of those of you who didn't give in. And some of you got off a little bit. That's okay. Because you're still here. You're still here. Now, before we get into it, you can read what I've provided. We're going to talk about some things that would make you happy and some things that are kind of sad, but they're facts. And so I'm going to get into that. And I believe you're going to find this interesting. So let me just say up front, if you know anyone that has high blood pressure and they're looking for help other than more meds, share this video with them. If you know anyone that has fatty liver and they actually want to do something about it, and yes, that may come across a little sarcastic, but I'm serious. Share this with them. If you know anyone who's dealing with insulin resistance and they're challenged and they're having a tough time and weight loss is just not coming off, share this with them. If you know anyone who is looking to improve really any part of their health, share this with them, because there is something taking place in the world that we live in that is not being addressed. And once you understand what I understand and what many people are starting to understand, because we got some momentum here, then you want to know this. And it's for your kids, it's for your family, it's for you. And I'm just going to share with you facts that I discovered. Now, I also put a link inside of this under the description where you can watch a presentation where I go into greater detail on this test that you're going to hear me mention and this product that I believe is the #1 supplement in the world at this moment in time that everybody, I want to say need, but I don't want to say need. So I'll say benefit from. And some people more than others, because some of you have just given up. Your stage 3 kidney failure, and you're just waiting on the doctors to tell you what to do. How do we know that? Look around. Dialysis centers are popping up everywhere. And if you had money to invest, I would say invest it in dialysis centers. Because in some communities, and many of you guys can relate to this, there's a church, there's a liquor store, there's a dialysis center. Then you got a little bit of fast food, then it begins. There's a church, there's a liquor store, and a dialysis center. Then you got some more fast food. That's what's taking place. Open up your eyes. Look at the people that you know that are on dialysis. Look at the people that aren't on dialysis now but aren't doing anything to help themselves, and watch over the next couple years how they are on dialysis. And I don't wish that on anybody. I know people and have clients who are on dialysis and they hate it and they want to get off. And I've been fortunate. I've helped some people get off, but a lot of people just assume that's just part of their destiny. And they wait on God to just help them. And I'm a believer, but trust me on that. But I also am a big believer that you can do things. You can do things to help yourself, which is also a will, right? A visibility. It puts you in a position where it's like, okay, thank you, God. I can hear, I can see, I can learn for myself. I can do something. Wow, I caught that guy, Robert Ferguson, talking, who's been doing this for 30 years. 30 years. I've worked with the most famous celebrities in the world, top level athletes, multi-billion-dollar companies. I've helped friends, family, people down the street, neighbors, thousands of people around the world. I've seen it, done clinical trials, doing more clinical trials, and the future's bright. And I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a supplement like that does what this does. And we have a test to prove it. So let me tell you what I saw when I went and looked at some of my past clients. Because the clients that I work with, they're losing weight. They're getting healthier. The ones that I'm not working with, but I have their records, unfortunately, I hope that they get better, but they're not losing weight. They're not getting healthier. And I've seen their lab work. I know where they are with their blood pressure. I know where they are with their liver enzymes. I know these people. I see them on Facebook. I see them taking pictures and posting and having a good old time. And they are one night's sleep of never waking up again. I've seen their numbers. And it's mind-blowing to me to sit back and watch them on Facebook, knowing that they literally, this could be their last night. Blood clot, heart attack, gone. And I've watched many of them. I mean, think of my man, Tom. Somebody reminded me today, I think it was Judy. She said she was watching some of my old videos and she saw me with Tom, who I worked with for a long time. Tom lost 175 pounds with me. And we're talking on this TV show. We're having a good old time. Tom's dead. Blood clot, massive heart attack. He's gone. One of my very good friends I used to talk to every week, going back to college days. He kept putting off coming to California to work with me to lose weight because he had gained a lot of weight. He was working hard. I went and saw him. I said, you don't have to wait, Simon. We can get started now. I get the phone call after I talked to him on Tuesday. I get a phone call on Thursday from his wife. Blood clot, heart attack, he's gone. He's like 52 years old. He's out of here. And I had just went and visited him, met his little 7-year-old kid. That little 7-year-old kid will not get to see his dad. Not in this world. And then I've watched many of my old friends from high school. I watched them posting, smiling, all happy, and got all kind of health problems. And ain't looking to do any better for themselves. And then in 1998, you heard me right, I'm writing my very first weight loss book. And I get to a chapter where I'm talking about the importance of omega-6 to omega-3s. And as I'm looking at the importance of omega-6 to omega-3s, I couldn't write the chapter because you can point out the problem. And even though the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, they're all talking about it. They all know it's a problem. Any doctor you talk to will even acknowledge and nod that it's a problem, but they're not testing for it. So here I am in a position where we can do an accurate test in the privacy of your home and know exactly where you are. You know what? Let me show you what a test looks like. These are the results of a test. Okay, these are the results of someone's test that all of the red is not a good thing. That's in the danger zone. And then what happened is this person started taking the product every day. And on the cellular level, they went from this, all the red, to some yellow, which is in the middle. And then they continued to take the product and they got here. Then they got here. Now they're here. You can't make this stuff up. What product that's test-based nutrition that can do this? And I watch people laughing and giggling and blah, blah, blah. And in reality, these people are missing out. So let me share with you what I saw. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. So I went back and I looked at my clients who are taking this product called the BalanceOil. And I only looked at the ones who have high blood pressure. If they didn't have high blood pressure, I didn't look at them. So I looked at all of my clients who have high blood pressure, some of them on medications, some of them are on multiple medications. And the only thing they changed, because I'm coaching them, these are my clients that I'm coaching. The only thing that they changed in their life was they started taking the BalanceOil. That's all they changed. Nothing else changed. And I gave them specific instructions on how to take it. And now all of them, please hear my words, all of them are living with their blood pressure in balance. Then I look at my clients who aren't taking the BalanceOil. You know, you hear people say you can't make this up. This is the cool part about data, because I'm looking at it, and all of my clients who have high blood pressure and they're not managing it very well, but are not taking the BalanceOil, they all still have high blood pressure and they're not managing it well. The only difference between the two groups is one's actually taking the supplement that's $42 a month and one is not. And I haven't shared this data, which I'm going to, and when I'm going to write an article on it, because I have their lab work. I have their data. Okay. Anyway, that's number one. Somebody will watch us talk about this And they'll go, yeah, but, and do nothing. And like I said, some of those people, they're a night or two or three away from not waking up. And it's so sad because I understand why it's the case, right? The reason why it's the case is because that's just the reality of what it is, right? So look at Linda, okay? Linda lost a lot of weight. Linda was looking good. Linda was rocking and rolling. And then we did her test, and she's in the red. So some of you look like you're fit, and I'm telling you right now, you're out of balance. And that's not being mean, but because you can do something about it. I've given some tests to some people who are really fit because my goal was I'm going to give them the test so that they can see that they're out of balance. And they say that they're all about health and nutrition. That's what they say. And they didn't even do the test. So I quit giving tests away because they're expensive. Well, if you're just giving them away, they're expensive. I mean, I don't want to be giving them away. So this is what we're looking at, you guys. This is what we're looking at. And that is an opportunity to do something about your situation. Okay. So let me look. Anybody have a question about what I'm saying? What's up there, Sandy? Sandy caught me live. Good to see you, Sandy. Joe Heather's in the house. Let's see here. John is in the house. Darlene. Look at Darlene. Look, this is what Darlene, look what she says. Darlene says, I swear by the balance oil. I'm telling you guys, this is going to change. Like, it's going to change how we look at health. Every physician that I've sat down with and gave this presentation to, they all are on board. Not one physician could actually sit down and not be on board because it makes that much sense. Okay. All right, number 2. I only got like 4 of these. And I wrote it out in case you didn't have the time. You don't want to listen to me like ramble and talk. But the people, there's a lot of people who have fatty liver. Okay. And this is something that you guys want to know about fatty. And I've done presentations on fatty liver. If you ever get a chance, you should watch it. But this is what we know. In 1975, the only people who had fatty liver were alcoholics. The only people in 1975 that were diagnosed with fatty liver were alcoholics. Today, 45% of the adult population, that means all the people you see at work, if you go to work and there's 20 people at your job, 50% of them basically have fatty liver. Most of them don't know it, but this is from the CDC. They have fatty liver. And it's non-alcoholic. They have non-alcoholic fatty liver. Think about what I'm saying. And no one had it in 75. And you could argue that no one had it up to 1979. But the data is clear. 1975, not one person was diagnosed. Not one person was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver. And today, 45% of adults and even kids. And when someone gets a liver transplant, we're having a shortage of them because when they bring in that liver, it's fatty. You know, unfortunately, someone gets killed in a car accident and they donate their liver, right? They're a donor. Well, 1 out of every 2 donors have a fatty liver, so they can't even use it. So we have a shortage of fatty liver. We have a huge demand of getting liver replacements because so many people progress from fatty liver stage 1, stage 2. You know, it's like those people that go, yeah, I have fatty liver, and they just keep moving. Not even realizing that, well, if you do nothing about it, it's going to go from stage 1 to stage 2. And if you continue to do nothing about it, it's going to be stage 3. And now out of nowhere, you got cirrhosis of the liver. Wait a minute, where'd that come from? I don't even drink alcohol. Well, it's non-alcoholic fatty liver. Yeah, you didn't do anything about it. You know, liver enzymes were out of whack and you did nothing. I have clients whose liver enzymes are out of whack. I know they have fatty liver and they do nothing. So I get it, man. Get on Facebook, smile, and let everybody know how happy you are. Life is great. But we all see RIPs all the time. I don't know what happened. She seemed like she was doing so good out of nowhere. And if it's fatty liver turns into cancer, starts affecting your cholesterol levels, mess with a whole bunch of men's testosterone, throws you out of balance hormonally, makes it difficult for you to drop body fat because the liver becomes insulin resistant. So this is what we learn from my clients. The ones who are taking BalanceOil and they have done a MRI or an ultrasound to confirm they have fatty liver, and inside of 1 year, okay, inside of 1 year, they've gotten tested, they don't have fatty liver. The only thing they change, okay, and keep in mind, I'm already coaching them. They're my client one-on-one. They've had fatty liver before they started taking this. So inside of a year, there's no more fatty liver. Are you kidding me? Then you go PubMed, Google Scholar, go look it up. You can't make this stuff up. And now they don't have fatty liver, but all of my clients that don't take it, they still got fatty liver. And think about the ones that I don't even coach anymore. I can see them gaining weight on Facebook. You can see it in their faces. You can see that, I mean, it's sad. Think about it from my perspective as a coach, especially when I work with someone and I see them smiling and life is like, woo, it ain't all that. Because they go to bed, many of them thinking about this could be the last night. And they're surrounded by family members who have them eating crap and just being a certain way. And they're not coming real with them. They're not saying, hey, I got some issues. I can't be having a bite of that. I got to stop eating that over there. I got to reverse this situation. You can't make this up. Okay, 2 more. People who take BalanceOil have reduced their risk of blood clot, stroke, and heart attack. How do we know that? There's a test. How do we know that? There's a test. There's a test. My client, if you look over here in the far right in the bottom, that's a arachidonic acid. Okay, let me make it a little bigger. Arachidonic acid. Most people can't even pronounce that word. And that's not being mean. They can't because they haven't heard about it. And your doctor knows how important it is, but they don't test for it. It's not covered by insurance. My client, like a lot of old people who used to be my client, I do her tests. Her arachidonic levels were out of balance. Fast forward, she's dead. She died in December 5th, 2024. A little over a month ago as I'm recording this video. What does arachidonic acid tell us? It's a precursor for blood clots, narrowing of the arteries, heart attack, and stroke. Arachidonic acid, omega-6, that means in the membrane, right? In the membrane, insane the membrane. That's inflammation. And everybody's watching this video and will watch it. I would say 98% don't even know what arachidonic acid is. And it's sad. If they bring it up to their doctor, they go, yeah, that's a good biomarker. Yeah. Go look it up. That's the fun part about today. If you really want to know, all you got to do is start looking it up. And you see a lot of these people on the GLP-1 drugs. Oh, yeah. They're not eating enough. And when you're not eating enough, your arachidonic acid will be out of balance also. See, a lot of us keep thinking weight loss is indicative of better health. Better health is indicative of weight loss. Not true. There's a whole bunch of people that have been on these drugs losing weight. Their arachidonic acid is not in a good place. And some of them we don't get to talk to anymore. This is real. And you can't even find a doctor that can disagree with what I'm saying because it's all factual. And we have before and afters I mean, we're getting ready to do a clinical trial, you guys. Okay. Like I put it out there, and thank you. I got 10 people. For those of you who are aware, we got them quick. But we're actually going to be doing a trial with a university. And we're going to show the power of coaching, the power of the Diet Free Life methodology, which we do in the 8-week challenge, right? So in the challenge, you learn the Diet Free Life methodology, and we're having fun with it. But we're going to also demonstrate the power of the BalanceOil. And I already know what the outcome is going to be. So part of the hypothesis is that. Now, I could be wrong. Can't wait to find out. Can't wait to find out. So what do we know? Well, if you're out of balance like this, you have increased risks of blood clots, increased risks of stroke, increased risks of heart attack. And then the third one, people who take the BalanceOil daily, we're seeing improvements with their insulin resistance. That's big. It's projected right now that 93% of adults have some level of insulin resistance. And everyone that's been on the BalanceOil for a year, $42 a month, they're not taking any of this. Is the only supplement I take. The only supplement. And you know why I supplement with this? Because the chances of you getting in balance without a supplement, it ain't going to happen. That's because of the quality of our food, the food that the animals are eating, then we eat the animals. The quality of all the foods that we're eating and the foods that we're not eating. That's why you're out of balance. Right now, these guys, this company, they have it. They have it. And when I say they have it, they're the only ones that have a product that does what it does. And is validated with a test from what the most credible organization that does dry blood spot testing. I mean, what else is there to say? You know, I don't know what else there is to say. When I did my very first infomercial, and I'll summarize and get out of here. Before I did that and made this product available to the masses, I took it to my mom. I believe that if you love your mom, because I love my mom, and I grew up as a mama's boy, I want my mom to succeed, right? I want to do something for my mom. And if it works for my mom, then I can help all the other kids' moms and help everybody. So when I first started really being able to bring a solution to the imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3, I went to my mom. And her numbers have improved dramatically. Even though she's not eating the way I would like her to eat on a regular basis. Thank God my mom is one of those people that when she makes it part of her regimen, she makes it part of her regimen. And all you got to do is just take it daily. Anyway, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to invite you to some of our upcoming talks. I'm going to bring on some coaches. I'm going to bring on some guests. We're going to be talking it up. We're very close to launching or relaunching our podcast. 2025 is off to a great start. I'm part of what I recommend and promote. I'm doing the challenge, and right now it's feeling good. And I hope all of you can have that same experience. And I hope all of you get on board and take a supplement that is test-based nutrition. There's no guessing. And you're laying the foundation to reduce the risk of a whole bunch of things that will come into your life when you're out of balance. And notice I said will, I didn't say may. So, what I wrote down, I say, guys, you can't make this up. I know I said it a few times. It's scientifically validated. I gotta, like, if you buy it from me, I do make money. I make about $4. Hey, $4 can get you a really nice coffee, right? If you get enough people, then maybe I'll make $8. But it's one of those things that if I didn't make a penny, nothing would change. You can't unsee this, what I just shared with you. I would be mean. I would be a horrible, human being if I didn't let people know about it. The good news is that I can be part of it and other people can too. It's amazing because you remove debate when you have a test. All those people think they're all that, right? They think they got it going on and they're like walking around with a little bit of ego, thinking they're all healthy. Trust me, I see their tests all the time. Some of these celebrities, they go, how can that be? That must be wrong. No, get off of it. You're out of balance. Why I eat everything? I go buy food from here and Whole Foods and only everything's organic. Okay. You're out of balance. Well, what does that mean? Then they get their doctor involved and the doctor is looking at what we're all looking at. I'm looking at the same thing the doctor's looking at. They go, yeah, you are out of balance. Then they can look at the doctor and go, hey, well, why didn't you say something about this? Why you never tested me? Well, it's just not part of the procedure. It's not standardized. Your insurance wouldn't. Well, I don't care. I would come out of pocket and pay for that if it's that important. Well, it's not that. It is that important. Why would the World Health Organization, the National Institute of Health, Tufts University, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, why would all of these highly respected, well-known organizations agree with everything that I just said? And then the doctor goes, well, I don't know. See, that's the problem, is everybody's letting the doctors tell them what they need to do with their health instead of doing their own due diligence. So I'm Robert Ferguson. Thank you for letting me share tonight. And as I said in the very beginning, if you know anyone that has fatty liver, tag them in this video. Just say, hey, you know what? Watch it. It's worth it. If you know anybody who have high blood pressure and they're running around and they're getting upset about it, tag them. Share this video with them. Let them at least know about it, and they can choose not to do something to improve their situation. I'll leave you with this question. And I was talking to a dear friend today about this, who's a nurse, by the way. Actually, I talked to 3 nurses today. But the last nurse, I asked this question. I said, if a person is on blood pressure medication long enough, what will eventually happen? And, the nurse kind of guessed here and there. And the obvious answer would be you'll die. If you live, eventually everybody's going to die. Yeah. I said, but this is what will happen. If they live long enough, they will be on dialysis. Not from the blood pressure, but from the medication. See, everybody just focuses on the blood pressure. Get it under control. I'm taking meds, but it's under control. But you're not even looking at the med, right? So if this is the pill is going to be the cause of certain outcomes. Eventually. So how can you prevent that? Work really hard and do everything you can to reduce or eliminate the need for the pill. Not settle because your blood pressure is under control, and just settle because you're looking at the blood pressure. You're not looking at what else is taking place. You know, Bruce Lee, and I'm gonna have this so I can cue it up all the time. When he did a movie called Enter the Dragon, at the very beginning, he's training the student. And as he's training the student, he points to the moon. And the boy, who's the student, looks at Bruce Lee's finger. And Bruce Lee stops. He says, if you look at the finger, you will miss all of the heavenly glory. And that's what's happening in this world that we live in. We're looking at the finger. You're looking at the blood pressure, and you're not realizing the damage the pill is doing. Go to a dialysis center and talk to people. Talk to people who live long enough, doctors, you name it. Eventually, they're on dialysis. If they live long enough, like if they don't get hit by a car, get cancer, something else happens. And it wasn't the blood pressure that put them on dialysis. It was their liver dealing with what they were taking for a long time. So there you go. I'm Robert Ferguson. I share because I care. I'm out of here. Peace out.
New way to see. No more counting calories, just living free. Robert Ferguson's got the plan you need. With diet-free life, it's the key. No more starving, getting rid of inflammation. Choosing healthy choices, providing you with sound information. Bringing balance to hormones and insulin through food. With BFL, teaching you food choices to see it through. BFL, we're teaching you to eat